Outside Boston, George Washington's army was still locked in a stalemate. But the impatient commander was about to find help in the form of a portly, enthusiastic Bostonian named Henry Knox. Knox realized that the deadlock could be broken by artillery, and there were heavy guns already captured and lying unused at Fort Ticonderoga.
We sometimes think of Henry Knox as being a rather old man from the paintings that exist, but in fact, Knox was only 25 years old when the war broke out and he became commander of Washington's artillery. Knox had no military experience. In fact, he had been a bookseller in Boston and was probably the best-read American on the art of artillery warfare in the 18th century.
In the dead of winter, Washington ordered Knox 300 miles northwest through ice and snow to Ticonderoga. The ingenious Knox had a plan for turning the season to his advantage.
Dragging heavy artillery, especially without very unique types of gun carriages constructed for it to move it, is a very hard thing over the very poor frontier area roads. But if you go in winter, you can put them on sleds and drag them across the snow.
In December, Knox left Ticonderoga with 59 cannons and mortars, 120,000 pounds of equipment. He wrote to Washington that he hoped to present a noble train of artillery in 16 or 17 days. 6 weeks later, Knox arrived with his noble train. Washington chose Dorchester Heights, overlooking both Boston and its harbor, to mount his cannon. But first, he had to fortify the heights, and the ground was frozen. Instead of digging trenches, the inventive rebels prefabricated their defenses, timber frames packed with hay, and hauled them into place overnight. By dawn on March 5, 1776, the anniversary of the Boston Massacre, Dorchester Heights was bristling with guns. General Howe thought it would have taken his army 3 months to build the same earthwork.
In point of fact, as soon as Washington mounts the heavy guns, Boston is untenable and Howe has to evacuate. And it's because the heavy guns can sink the ships, and without the ships, Boston can't be defended by the British.
Howe had been outmaneuvered. He sent a message to Washington. If the Americans would let him evacuate Boston in peace, he would not burn the city. Washington held his fire. He had no choice. He had the guns to shell Boston, but not the gunpowder. His entire fortification was a masterful bluff.